Okay, so what we have here is an EL student that I have been following since the beginning of practicum, and these are two writing samples. And so right here we have our first writing sample, and as you can see here, the sentence is very long. It's a very run-on sentence. Some of the words aren't spelled correctly. Some of the verbiage use isn't correct, or some of the adverbs aren't necessarily correct. But something that I think that is really important about this student that I've been noticing is that, I mean, he's extremely fluent when it comes to oral communication, and something that this student really strives for is whenever we read in class out loud, he is always the first one to volunteer and read. And if people are even doing a popcorn type reading for a chapter, he will ask if he can read the whole chapter just in order to get um, practice with reading and understanding sentence structure. This student is currently in 11th grade, and as you can see from this first excerpt of what we have here, and what they do at the beginning of class is that my teacher will pose a question. She will give people 1 minute to think. She'll give all the students 1 minute to think. And then following that, she'll give them exactly 3 minutes to write. And she puts the timer on the board, the whole thing. They go ahead and they write their answer, and it's whatever creative writing prompt that she'll have up. So it's never something academic or testing. It's more so like self explorative and being creative with your writing. And then at the end, you can see right here, he has written 53 words at the top, and you can see that that's how many, he counts up how many words that he wrote. So as you go over to the right, so this is an end of 8th grade sample. And you can see up in the top corner that he only had 15 words with the same time slot, the 1 minute, 3 minute writing time. And so you can see a significant jump from 8th grade. I mean, he's in 11th grade now, but from 15 words in 3 minutes to 53 words in 3 minutes. When you look at the sentence structure, here you can see the prompt at the top, first of all, and it says, I unzipped my backpack and my best friend popped out. They shrunk into 2 inches tall. We ... And he wrote, we did something that I can't say because it's not illegal in the city, which is stupid. And you see there are some spelling errors and just some context errors, because when he says, because it's not illegal in this city, I think he was intended to say he can't say it because it is illegal. So just a little bit of comprehension inaccuracies within that writing sample. But I think this student, I've been trying to get more samples of his participation in class, um, of his oral communication, but it's actually been really tricky recently because he has not been in school for at least the last 2.5 weeks. So something to consider there as well. But you can see here at the end of 8th grade on the right, total correct words. 43 is in the 25 percentile, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think you can see right here it's 53. So, yes. I've also found with this student that there's a specific fixation on rappers, and specifically the phrase I see right here on the left, that he knows he's living the way of life he would live as a young boy and not suffer. That's kind of a topic of conversation that comes up frequently with this student, is that he's living his life, not the way, he's not living by other people's standards. So that's something that is definitely conveyed in almost all of this student's writings. But I think he enjoys the creativity, and he's always willing to have creative discussions around these prompts or in everyday conversation. And you can see here that he even really likes to doodle, which I think some frown upon, but I think that it's a pretty sweet thing that happens when students let their minds wander. But overall, yeah, I'm interested in seeing um, how this student grows over the course of by the end of our practicum time. Especially because I know that with WIDA, they typically do samples such as these, like short samples that are follow a prompt. And from my understanding, from the communication that I've had with the teacher, his WIDA scores have been fairly low. So it'll be interesting to see when he comes back into school.